So who can benefit from this seminar? Well, for sure, if you are a business owner or leader or an influencer about what to do next, this seminar can help you understand business analytics better. But you also might want to be somebody who just wants a better footing at what these concepts are all about and what business analytics is. And this can come in really handy if you're sitting and listening to someone who's pitching analytics services to you. You can challenge them, you can ask questions back, and in general, maybe you can sound like you know what you're talking about. Okay, so let's get into the fun part. Would anybody like to take a stab at defining the word analytics? Well, a simple definition is that analytics is a set of techniques for identifying patterns in data to better understand the past, present, and the future. Now, if you look on the internet for a definition of analytics, you'll find many, and most will be more complicated and lengthy than this. But what I did for this seminar is try to pick a definition that is simple and is also correct. But that's really what analytics is. It doesn't have to get any more complicated than that. So anyone want to define business intelligence? Business intelligence is the practice of examining historic information for insights into the state of a business. Now, business intelligence does not always involve data analysis. You can do business intelligence by reading the Wall Street Journal, or you can do it by going to a trade show, walking around and asking lots of questions. So business analytics is a set of techniques for understanding what happened, predicting what's next, and deciding how to respond. So let me give you an example. Taylor Swift has had a lot of albums. Her most recent album was called Reputation, and it sold 4.5 million copies worldwide. Her previous album was called 1989, and it sold over twice that much. So what was the difference in how customers responded to Reputation versus 1989, right? How old were the customers? When did they buy the album? Was it right after the release or was it later on? Did they buy it in a CD or did they download the music? And what can that data tell us about how we should market and promote Taylor's next album? Now, to do this kind of thing, business analytics uses advanced methods that are generally referred to as data science. So let's note the time. It was 10 minutes until 10 that the word data science first came up in this presentation. And yes, we're going to go there. All right, so this would be the grand prize if anybody wants to take a stab at defining data science. Okay, here we go. So data science is an interdisciplinary field of scientific methods and systems to extract knowledge from data in a wide variety of forms. This is the simplest definition that I could possibly come up with. If you want some complexity, go ahead and Google what data science is. Now, data science is huge and it's very complex. And the reason that I'm emphasizing scientific is really because that's what it is. It's a science, just like medicine or nuclear physics. And it's practiced by scientists who review each other's work and challenge it, usually in a productive way. But another way to think about data science is what data scientists do, just like a medical doctor practices medicine. So it can be very helpful to understand what is a data scientist. So what is a data scientist? Well, generally it's somebody who has a master's degree or a doctorate in mathematics or applied statistics. And it's somebody who understands not only the advanced mathematical methods, but the tools and technology to manage and analyze large, complex data sets. And as I mentioned, a data scientist needs to be capable of defending their designs and their findings among other data scientists. And these can get to be very academic and quite spirited conversations. So that's sort of the nature of the science element of data science. Now, I'm not a data scientist. I'm what you could call a data analyst or a data analytics practitioner. One reason I know that I'm a data scientist is that I am not paid as highly as a data scientist. Now, that's partly because of my level of sophistication compared to people who've reach this level. But it's also because there is a shortage of data scientists in today's market. They're really in short supply. Everybody wants to gobble them up, and that's because business analytics and data science are so very hot right now. So that really brings up the question, when do I need to hire a data scientist versus when do I need to hire an experienced data analyst? And let me try to answer that question. Anytime you do advanced analytics, there are threats to the validity of your findings. Now, there are a lot of well-documented methods for managing, identifying, and resolving those threats to validity, including this. This is the Handbook of Statistical Analysis and Data Mining Applications. I've read this book. It's very fascinating. It's a real page-turner, let me tell you. And so long as those threats to validity are well understood and the methods practiced conscientiously and the results presented carefully with due regard for those threats to validity, then those results or those findings are something that, yes, you can have confidence in, whether it's done by a data analyst or by a data scientist. Now, it's true that there are analytic methods that are far more sophisticated than the normal type that are practiced, including neural networks. I'm not going to go into the description, but neural networks is a very advanced, sophisticated type of data analysis or data science in which the algorithm or the model gets smarter by just running itself over and over. Thank you, Andrew. It gets smarter just by running itself over and over. If you are doing neural networks, it's really advisable to have a data scientist around to set it up. And actually, sometimes you need an advanced data scientist to really interpret the results that you're getting. It's super complex stuff. But you can go a long, long way in business analytics and data science without ever having to touch that super rarefied level of sophistication. Now, there's another distinction between the need for a data scientist and the need for an experienced data analyst. And that is in the level of accuracy. So imagine that you're a company who is able to detect fraudulent transactions about 90% of the time before they happen. If you hire a data analyst to come in, maybe that data analyst could get you from 90% detection to 99% detection, right? And that's great. However, if you're a data scientist and you've spent years or even decades perfecting your craft, you might be able to take that 99% to 99.9999999. Now, if you are that data scientist, you might place more importance in that small distinction than perhaps the owner of that business. Because the owner of that business just went from 90 to 99%, and they're saving a lot of money, and they're probably pretty happy. So here's a great quote from a guy named Josh Wills, who's the former director of analytics at Slack, and actually he decided to step down from management and just do data science. And he says that a data scientist is a person who's better at statistics than any software engineer and better at software engineering than any statistician. Now, this overstates it just a little bit, but it does have a ring of truth. Data scientists need to be good at both of those things. All right. So we've talked about the concepts for analytics, business intelligence, data science, and business analytics. So let's put these together in a way that makes sense. All right, so here's analytics. And that's the set of techniques for understanding the past, present, and future. Here's business intelligence, right? Now, they overlap a lot, but not uniformly. As you'll remember, I noted that business intelligence doesn't always require analysis of data. You can read the Wall Street Journal, go to a trade show. Let's jump to data science. Now, data science overlaps with analytics, and it also overlaps with business intelligence, but there's other areas of data science that have nothing to do with either. For example, finding large prime numbers in cryptography. So where does business analytics sit? Well, it sits right there, kind of in the middle of everything. It's got elements of all of that stuff.